Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is 𝐼𝐚𝐬 and in today's video I wanted to share with you my personal experiences with natural deodorants, my top tips on what I've learned and wished I knew when I started my journey, and then I'll share brief reviews of the natural deodorants that I've tried and then recommend my favorites. So to start, I wanted to clarify that I made the switch to natural deodorants because I wanted to reduce waste and find a natural deodorant that comes in low waste, sustainable packaging that I can either recycle or put in a compost bin. I made the switch to natural deodorants about a year ago, and in that time, here are 3 tips or lessons that I've learned from making my switch to natural deodorants. So number 1, accept that your body may go through a transition phase. Now, conventional deodorants typically have aluminium in them that works as an antiperspirant by creating a layer over your sweat glands, which reduces your sweat and therefore reduces odor. Natural deodorants typically don't have aluminium in them, and so it may seem like you are sweating more when you first make the switch, when actually your body is just sweating the natural amount that it's supposed to be producing, and that's completely fine. Some people even use specific products to help detox their armpits. I've actually tried these, and I do find it's great for reducing product buildup and for preventing ingrowns as well. Lesson number 2 is don't be discouraged if the first one that you try doesn't work out. It may take a while for you to discover which natural deodorants are the best for you, and in the meantime, if one doesn't, find a way to slowly use it up. You can either split it half and half with a friend, or use it on days when you're just at home and not really doing much. If possible, I would try and get a sample of it first to see if you like it and to see if your skin is particularly reactive to any ingredients. For example, I learned halfway through a deodorant that I am sensitive to sodium bicarbonate or baking soda, and I haven't been able to use this since, but the baking soda free version of this works just fine. Lesson number 3 is depending on your body and your scent needs, you may need to reapply once throughout the day if it's particularly warm or if you're sweating a lot, and it's not the end of the world. I think that antiperspirants had a way of conditioning me to think that sweating is bad, and actually it's not, so get ready to be really comfortable with your body. Okay, so let's get into my quick reviews of the natural deodorants that I've tried, and I want to remind you that all of the deodorants I'll be talking about in this video are free of sodium bicarbonate or baking soda because of my skin sensitivity, so without further ado, let's get into it. So I'll be rating each product on 4 things, which are packaging, scent selections, ease of application, and effectiveness at keeping odors at bay. And I'm judging this based on how I smell at the end of an 8-hour workday. And I want to stress that I am not one of those girls who can go a whole day without wearing deodorant. If you are one of those people, I envy you greatly. Okay, on to the products. The first deodorant I'm going to be talking about is from a brand called Pong. Now, this was one of the first deodorants that I tried, and I still use it today. The packaging is made out of aluminium tin, so you can either repurpose or recycle it, so I actually give this a 5 out of 5. The scent selections are no fragrance, which is their vegan option, and this one actually has a very low concentration of sodium bicarbonate that I can tolerate, and it also has a lemon zest scent, which is my favorite, and a spicy chai scent as well, which I love for winter. So in terms of scent selections, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. The application of this is really easy because it's a paste, so you do have to rub it into your armpits with your fingers, which some people may be uncomfortable with. Personally, I'm not, and I find this deodorant is super easy to apply because the formula is really smooth, so I give this a 5 out of 5. And in terms of effectiveness, this is pretty effective for me. I can get a full work stay out of it, but I do find that when we get into the warmer months, like around 30 degrees Celsius and above, I do have to reapply once around 3 p.m. and that's after I've worn it since 8 in the morning, so to me, that's not too bad. So I'm actually going to give this a 4 out of 5. So out of a total score of 20, I give this an 18. The second deodorant is Good and Clean. This one also comes in aluminium packaging, so super easy to recycle, so I give this a 5 out of 5. And the scent selection for this is pretty good as it varies from floral to sandalwood and some other fresh scents as well. So I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. But in terms of the ease of application, I don't know if this is just the batch that I got, but I find the consistency of this is a lot tougher in comparison to No Pong. So it's difficult for me to get it out of the tin, and it's hard for me to apply as well. So I'm actually going to give this a 2. And I find that I usually can get 4 to 5 hours out of this before I need to reapply. I can get more use out of this product in winter, but in spring, autumn, and summer, not so much. So I'm actually going to give this a 2 as well. So out of 20, I'm going to give this a total score of 13. Next up is Meow Meow Tweet. Now their deodorants come in 2 different kinds of packaging, glass jars and compostable cardboard packaging. So this gets an ace on both ends. The scent selection is divine. They've got lavender, grapefruit, eucalyptus, rose and cedar spruce, and just overall just really fruity and herbal scents. So this also gets a 5. The ease of application is easier with the jar than it is in the cardboard packaging. With the cardboard packaging, I find I have to really warm this up on my skin in winter to get it to work. So I would actually recommend getting the jar instead. Across the board with the 2 different kinds of packaging, I'm actually going to give this a 3 out of 5. But if it was just the jar, I would give it a 5. Otherwise, yeah, I'm going to give this a 3. In terms of effectiveness, I'd give this a 3. Again, colder months, this is great, but the second we get into the mid-20s, we're reapplying at the 3 p.m. mark, so this gets a total score of 16. The 4th deodorant I'm going to be discussing is from a brand called Woohoo, and this is available in cardboard and tins, so in terms of packaging, 5 out of 5. This deodorant also has a decent selection of scents. They err on the more tropical side of scents like coconut, lime, and orange zest, so I really love these scents, so I'm just going to give it a 5 out of 5 as well. The application is a lot easier in the tin than it is in the cardboard packaging, so I'm going to give this a 4 overall, only because I find that the formula of it is a lot smoother in comparison to other deodorants in cardboard packaging. And for effectiveness, I'd actually give this a 4. I find that I can last a full workday and maybe reapply once when it gets really warm, but I usually don't need to until I get home around 6 p.m. So overall, this deodorant gets an 18 out of 20. The next deodorant is from a brand called Viva La Body. Now this comes in cardboard packaging, but you can also get it as a solid block as well. So I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5. In terms of the scents, I know that they have quite a wide range and interesting mix of scents, such as lavender, cinnamon patchouli, patchouli rose, and lemongrass basil, to name a few. Personally, the scent I got wasn't my favorite. It was just a little bit too musky for me, but Alex, my partner, loves it. One of my favorite eco stores, Eco Revolution, is going to start stocking this brand soon. So once they do, I really want to check out the scent Patchouli Rose because that particular scent has gotten rave reviews online. The application is a bit tricky in the sense that it can drag on the skin a little bit. So I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5. I find that if you just warm this up a little bit before applying it, it works a lot better. And in terms of the effectiveness, I have to give this a 5. I find that this lasted all day on me and I can make it to the end of the workday and I don't have to reapply until I get home. I'm going to give this a total score of 18. So the last deodorant that I'm going to be discussing is from a brand called Kopari. Now this deodorant is available from Sephora, which I got in my recent shopping trip there. The packaging of this is plastic, so I have to give this a 3. The only reason I'm not rating this lower is because Mecca Beauty now offers TerraCycle, which is where I plan on sending this product once I'm done with it. And if you don't know what TerraCycle is a recycling program where you can actually take in your containers of the products that you've used up and then they recycle it for you. The scent selection for this product is really subtle and really fresh. So imagine coconuts and coastal scents and gardenia. So I find the scent selection really lovely. So I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5 because it's actually quite subtle, which is my preference. The application of this is super smooth as well. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. And I do find that this lasted all day on me. I wore this on a 30-degree day where I walked for 30 minutes in the sun and I found that I didn't have to reapply this deodorant until I got home. So this gets a 5 out of 5 for me in terms of effectiveness, making the total score an 18. So if I had to narrow down my top 3, I would have to say that the Capari gets first pick if the other brands are difficult for you to get, since Sephora is quite accessible to most people. However, if you have access to eco stores online, which I will link down below, or if you're living in Perth and you can head down to Eco Revolution in Inglewood, I would highly recommend picking up Woohoo and No Pong, as they are long-standing favorites for me. And last I checked, I think that No Pong is now available in Woolies as well, so it's super accessible if you have a Woolies near you. Well, that's it for this video. As always, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to support my little channel. Comment down below which deodorant appeals to you most, and if you have any questions at all, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!